What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros live show, and we've got a great one lined up for you today because altcoins are pumping. Now, this morning was Cardano's day, and we're going to be talking about Cardano. Trust me. But go ahead, T-Shroom, share my screen as we are speaking. As we are doing this little video, AVAX is on a nice little pump up here. Now, it looks like, did it scale back? No, I think that's a predictive line. I don't know why I made my predictive lines white. AVAX kind of coming up here, breaking through resistance, heading up towards $30. I did call for potentially a $32 price action here on AVAX. I am currently entered into a long right now. This is Blofin, you guys, the new sponsor of the channel, the greatest exchange out there. If you're in the US and you don't want a VPN and you don't want to use a KYC, you guys are going to want to get Blofin. But yeah, up almost $600 here, guys. Let's see. I don't think you see that part of my screen. Well, it is what it is. There you go. Up $600. Also in a Kaspa trade at the moment. Measly $30. Don't pay attention to that one. But AVAX taking on the excitement here. We're going to continue to watch that as the show develops. But with that said, we're going to get into the technical analysis because it's not just Cardano. It's not just AVAX. There's a lot of altcoins doing some cool things today. We'll also take a look at Bitcoin, who just touched 44,000 again. T-Shroom. Everything's really exciting right now on the charts, but you know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about you. And how are you doing today?
Oh, Tim, I'm doing better than I deserve, my man. It's another day down here in Florida, so we're in paradise, baby. I do have a quote for us, a quote of the day, and it comes from someone that you'll be very familiar with. The trouble with quotes on the internet is that you never know if they are genuine. Abraham Lincoln. What do you think about that one, Tim?
I'm gonna call kerfuffle there. I'm gonna call the oxymoronic statement, but of course that's what he's talking about. You never know with those online quotes, especially back in the 1860s.
Yep.
When Abraham, I guess he would have been around before the 1860s, but
I'll tell you one thing.
Internet wasn't popping too much at that point. Yeah. So
there you go.
If that was the trivia question of the day, was this a real quote? I would have passed with flying colors.
I think so too. Yeah. I think so too. I would hope so. Awesome.
Yeah. Dude. Well, okay. So before we dive into this, T-Shroom, how has your day been going with crypto? Have you been entering any trades? Have you been looking at any entries? I know you and I have both now gotten more into it with Blofin. It's crazy because I was doing some trades here and there with BitGet a while ago, but of course, they KYC'd. They took it so that, you can't really do it with U.S. citizenship. So I really had stepped away from trading and I was doing more swing stuff on like Coinbase. And now, we've been using Blofin for like the last 4 or 5 days, and I think I'm up. I think at this point close to 5,000 or 6,000.
Nice.
Just this week. Now that's not consistent. That's guys. You're going to make a lot of money during these big pulls, and there's going to be boring seasons where you only make like a couple dollars a day, depending on how much you're trading with. Obviously, my account, I'm not trading with like millions of dollars or anything like some of these other guys out here, but I'm pretty happy with it. How are your trades going so far?
Well, I mean, I'm up on everything that I've invested in. I haven't been able to get organized enough to get on Blofin. I do have some funds on there. Yeah, I do have some funds on there, but I have not been able to trade yet. Just about to go celebrate with Piper. About to go have some time with him in Daytona. So I've just been crunch time to get things done before Amanda and I go head down there and spend some time with
Piper. You're about to be on vacation. And that's, I also want to say that, guys. You guys are going to hear me talk a lot more about trading here, especially now that I'm going to be doing it pretty much every day. There will be days where I don't care if crypto is doing 10Xs on that day alone. There's sometimes it's just nice to step away from trading, and especially when you're about to go on vacation, the last thing you want and the last thing that Amanda would want is you guys sitting out there on the beach, sipping back whatever beverage you guys drink. I don't know, and I'm not going to presume, but you're just sitting there staring at your phone
Pedialyte
the entire time. Pedialyte, good. That keeps you hydrated, so that's really good. Shout out to Jonathan Derby, said, I miss you guys. Took me almost 7 months to find y'all. I thought y'all left the space. We've been here. In fact, Jonathan, we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary. We started the channel back in November of 2022, and man, we're about to hit. We're going to cross probably before the end of the day or next 2 days. I think we're going to get above, we're going to get to 5,900 Especially, I think we're getting a lot of subscribers from my Cardano video this morning. If you guys have not checked out my Cardano price prediction video, it's good. You got to go get it. You got to go check it out. T-Shroom, anything you have to say before we jump into these charts?
I do have something to say, Tim. We're actually not going to cover this story today, but Elon Musk talked about not your keys, not your wallet. A little bit of a modification on the not your keys, not your crypto phrase. Guys, yeah, I said it this morning on the 9 a.m. show, which thank you guys so much for joining. We've had a lot of fun there. This is the season for noobs, right? It's reflected on the price, 100%. There is more money in the market right now, and we have to assume that some percentage of that is new people. Help out folks. Help them understand that the crypto is the Wild West, and it's not changing anytime soon, right? These are not extremely user-friendly apps, exchanges, dApps. As much as we like them and we promote them, they're still very difficult to lose and to use sometimes for new people, and you can lose a lot of money. So help people when you can, and also be very careful yourself. Not your keys, not your crypto, and also be very, very careful what you're letting into your wallets, letting have access to your wallets, and all of those types of things. So just exercise caution because hey, when crypto people are making money, that's when scammers, that's when hackers are going to try to attack. Not when you're poor, not in the bear market when everybody's broke, although they'll do it there too. But when people are starting to get flush with cash, that's when you have to be on your top behavior and discipline with security. So that's what I'll say, Tim.
That's very good advice there, T. Sherman. And you're absolutely right. We are going to be definitely swinging into some territory where we're getting new people who are maybe for the first time hearing about cryptocurrency. If you are a person watching this video right now and you've maybe been around for a week or two, you're still kind of figuring all this stuff out. Welcome to the crypto world. It is chaotic. And we do the best job we can here at Investing Bros to keep you as grounded as possible. When it's exciting, we get excited. When it's boring, we're going to tell you the truth about it being boring. And we're going to prepare for when the excitement comes again. We are getting into the season of where crypto will get very exciting. We're on a pump right now. I still believe there will be a decent sized dip. We'll talk about that a little bit during the show. We're going to engage with you guys a lot. So I know there were some people earlier, both in Discord and over on Twitter, asking my thoughts about some coins. If you guys are here, we're going to have some Q&A. You guys can absolutely say what coins you want us to take a look at on the charts, what we want to address in the news. But in case anyone's newer to the channel, again, go ahead and hit that like button. Even though we haven't gotten into all the gist of it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Just so you know, every single week I put out an 8:30 video. It goes out to the members first for about 30 minutes, and then you guys get it at 8:30. T-Shroom goes live at 9 a.m. with all of the news. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do have our live shows where we got to interact with you guys. Tuesdays and Thursdays are reserved for our members. You can join that membership if you want more access to us. We got a lot more exciting things kind of developing with our memberships coming very soon. But with that said, T-Shroom, let's go ahead and get on over here into some of this excitement. Now, we're going to start off here with AVAX because it's hot, and we might have to keep coming back here throughout the day. I want to say, even though that price we talked about 32.5 is the price prediction for the breakout of a potential bull flag, I probably am going to be taking some profit. There's a little bit of insight for you guys. I'm probably going to be taking profit closer to $30.60 because maybe 70 cents. Look at the high we had back here. This is going to serve as a level of resistance. This was a high we had all the way back in August of 2022. I'm not saying that price can't just blow up through it and go to 32, but especially when you're trading, you want to be, especially if you're aggressive with getting into your trades, you kind of want to be conservative and aggressive with getting out of them, meaning you're not looking to try to make it all the way to the tippy top. You look at where you are, you think, how much left of a rally do I have here? All right, is it worth leaving my trade in for that much longer? Maybe you take half your trade, maybe you take half the profit, maybe you take out what you put into the trade. Either way, you do want to start looking for levels to take profit, even if you're not quite to the level that you're predicting. That's kind of what I'm sitting here looking. If we, during the live show, pump up to about $30, I'm gonna call it 30, even though this high goes to about 30. What's the high here? Let's actually look at the exact high. The wick goes to $30.86. I'm probably going to look around somewhere. If we hit 37, if I see $30.70, I'm probably going to go ahead and exit my trade. But This is very exciting. I'm going to tell you right now, though, if you are not entered into an AVAX trade, please do not FOMO in. Just because we're talking about a potential pull up to 32. Guys, we can go higher than 32. Over the next little bit, we could probably even make a push up towards 36, maybe even make a push towards 50 up in that golden pocket. But you will see we're back to overextended territory here on the daily. We're going to be overextended on the 4 hour says we're not quite overextended just yet, which is possibly why we're going to continue to rally here for just a little while longer. But especially on some of these lower time frames, you're going to see it say overbought here. And so this is not a sign. It's just good practice. Even if you can keep rallying to the upside, you do see further upside. You do not want to be buying when you're seeing the oscillators be this high. You don't want to buy into a pump. You want to be looking for some of the levels of retracements to support. Maybe you see the oscillators sitting super low. So even though AVAX is having itself a nice day up almost 12%, this is one that if you guys are saying, man, I missed out on my AVAX trade, guys, there will be another opportunity. Trust me, there will be a pullback. And especially if you're in our Discord and you're one of our members, you will hear about it because I've been pretty bedridden. I know responds to all of them. I've been pretty good about getting in there daily and letting you guys know what I'm seeing on the charts. But it's not even the most exciting one. Cardano, guys. And of course, a lot of people maybe read the title. You guys are seeing that. Cardano is the exciting one of the day. We are pulling back here, although we're short. Here, we're getting a little bit of a pump here on these lower time frames after pulling back here just a little bit. This is the kind of stuff you want to see. Not going to lie here, guys. Maybe want to enter. Let's see what else is going on here. I like what I'm seeing on the 15 minute. Of course, the hourly is going to say we're a little overextended, but guys, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do this right now. We're going to go ahead and enter ourselves a little Cardano trade here because that is actually in a good spot. I was looking for it. Let's go 10x here. I'm going to get a little bit aggressive, but again, I'm going to be aggressive with taking profit as well. I'm going to go ahead. Let's just put, for the sake, let's do $500. What's that going to be? How many of these do I have to put? I have to leverage all the way up to 50,000. I think that is way too much. That's 2,000. All right, let's go 10. I got to go back here. Boom. Make sure, big practice when you guys are trading, take profit, stop loss. You guys definitely want to see these. We're going to go ahead, and in case I just walk away, we're going to do another take profit up at, we're going to go $56. It could go a lot higher than that. In fact, let's go a little high. I'm going to be more liberal about taking profit later. We'll go ahead and go $58. Let's see a new high, 50.58. I don't know why I'm saying dollars is cents. So you got to go 0.58. Take stop loss. Let's take a look at the chart once again. Let's see here. I'm going to want to probably take a stop loss if we get down to this wick. So 53.19 cents is going to be my stop loss. So 0.5319. All right. So gotta have my trade in here. We are buying that long, but a boom. Not gonna be surprised if I start off here in a little bit of loss, but it will come back as we get to it. Let's talk about Cardano though. Again, rallying as we are speaking. We touched briefly today up at 57.30. 57 cents, .30. I don't know why I'm saying 30 because you don't count cents like that. This, though, ladies and gentlemen, is not going to be the top. That's why I just went in and entered another trade here. I think Cardano could get exciting once again. Why? Even though we're seeing overextended things on the 4 hour, on the daily, I'm in more of a scalp trade here. So again, there's a chance I take profit before the end of the show, if not maybe shortly after. But look at these macro timelines. We're still sitting here looking at Cardano for a potential pull up here to the 0.382 here at 60 cents. You're also going to kind of keep your eye around 68 cents here, closer to 70 cents, but there's also a level of resistance there mixed with our fixed range volume profile. You will see that we've got a nice little gap in the volume coming in right there on 69, 70 cent zone. So that's my next level. I've heard people talk about 75 cents, and honestly, the best thing I could say is, are they talking about this little wick right here where we did find support all the way back in February of 2022, but in reality, 77 was where there was stronger support, and then we have the 0.5 Fibonacci level coming in here at 80 cents. So I know that number's kind of going all over the internet today. Hey guys, are we going to 75 cents? I'm going to tell you right now, 60 is the one that I'm keeping my eyes on. 60 cents for Cardano, I do think should be the next push. If we break above 60 cents with some significance, I'm keeping my eyes about 70 cents. Again, volume gap and a former resistance level. You always want to be paying attention to those former resistances. Then I'm going to go up, even though there is some here on 77, I'm going to go ahead and say if we make a push past there, we're going to the 0.5 of Fibonacci. A lot of altcoins have already made it up to this 0.5. If you guys have been watching me now for weeks, I've talked heavily about this potential pump. And one of the reasons why, let's take a look here. Let's just look at some other coins. Let's look at some other things here. Bitcoin. Bitcoin has exploded now. What is happening with this chart? I think my, let's see here. Are we good? No, okay. We're good. We're good. For some reason, I thought I was up in the platinum pocket here. Bitcoin has gone above the golden pocket. This is not that weird. In past cycles, we have seen Bitcoin back in 2019 make it all the way up to the platinum pocket. That's what I'm kind of looking at. When people are talking about $50,000 for Bitcoin, we're kind of looking up there. But that's above the golden pocket. This is normal for Bitcoin in pre-halving runs to outpace the rest of the market. That's why the Bitcoin dominance is climbing so high. In fact, the other day we touched above 55. We're back down right at about 54, but I think that's going to keep going up. Again, Bitcoin back up here at 44. We'll talk more about that later. Today's about the altcoins. Ethereum, let's take a look at it. Ethereum has been above its 0.5 level on Fibonacci here for a while. It's sitting right there between the middle, but it's trying to make a push all the way to its golden pocket up here at 2,500. But again, Ethereum, super high. Solana has just today made its way into the golden pocket, something that does not happen that often with altcoins. One of the big reasons I think Solana did this, though, ladies and gentlemen, is because of that FTX drop. In reality, I think the bottom of the bear market for Solana would have been somewhere closer to these levels, in which case Solana is not even up to its 0.5 just yet. But because it had such a far bottom after the FTX collapse, it's also the reason why it's been so explosive. We thought this coin was dead. Now it's come back to life. It is up in its golden pocket. Link is sitting up here above its 0.5, making a move towards its golden pocket. I could keep going on here. My point here is that altcoins have been now for a while up at higher levels. They've had these big rallies, but when you go to Cardano, when you go to the Cardano chart, look at this. Until yesterday, late yesterday, we finally pushed above the 0.236. We could not get back up above that. So I told everybody, I was like, listen, other altcoins have had their turn. Bitcoin has rallied. Ethereum has rallied. Solana is leading. Solana still probably has the biggest rally of all the major coins out there. Link has had some great rallies. AVAX, Matic, they've all done a great job, but Cardano had lagged behind. I said this is not because Cardano isn't working. It is just waiting for all the profits to roll from these other coins into Cardano. It will take its turn, and sure enough, take its turn, it has, and we are making our way up towards that 0.382. And once again, because of the speed we're doing this with right now, I'm not going to be surprised if when I said 60 cents could be the top is a little wrong. I think there's a chance momentum could carry us above that 60 cents, and we could be seeing 70 to 80 cents be a more realistic top for this pre-halving run. Now, people are asking, Tim, can we get to that $1 mark? Can we get back above it? Could we make a run on Cardano back up to the golden pocket? And I'm not going to say it's impossible, right? But we are talking about an 100% rally from where we currently are. I think most altcoins, it would be really good if altcoins could get another 40 to 50% from where we currently are. Is it impossible for Cardano to double from here? Is it impossible for Solana or Link? Impossible is the wrong word, but it's not probable. I still believe, similar to what we've seen in past cycles, here's Cardano pre-halving run back in June, the summer of 2019, and then a big pullback. Even before COVID, I've told you guys this before, so Cardano had a nice rally up here. It rallied 300%, and then, even though people were really bullish on it, it ended up, even before COVID, pulling back 71%. Are we going to see a 71% pullback on Cardano? I don't think so. I would be surprised unless potentially we did hit $1 and then pulled 70% back down to 30 cents, that kind of range. But I don't think that that's going to happen. I do still think, though, that we are going to see this pre-halving. You see it on every single coin here. Ethereum, same thing back here. Pre-halving, bull run, big pullback. Bitcoin, of course, we've talked about before. Pre-bull market, pre-halving bull market, pull back 50%. I'm still waiting for all these things to happen, but we're still looking for further room to the upside before that. More than likely, whatever news we get in January, I'm thinking at this point, this pullback probably will come early January. Either on a news result that they're approving ETFs and it's a buy the rumor, sell the news, or they're denying ETFs. And now all of a sudden there's some fear about will the ETFs even be approved this year? They pump the news media with some scared things. They just want to drop the price back down so that institutions and whales can take profit and buy in some lower levels. But for now, again, I think we still have, what is today? December 8th. We got about a month, I think, left of choppiness. I think it's choppiness that moves up and to the right, but there will be, in my chart, there'll be white days and there'll be blue days. If you use candles green and red, there will be green days, there will be red days, but I think those days continue to take us up and to the right. We're going to kind of take a breath right here. There's other coins we can take a look at. We've looked heavily, if you guys are just joining us, we've looked heavily at AVAX, looked heavily at Cardano. We've kind of touched on some others, but those are the big ones today. If you guys want to take a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin just back up above 44,000, has a bull flag, could send us up to about 46 in the next couple of days, but I'm going to take a breather. We might do some news, get a trivia question here, and then we'll get some Q&A from you guys and talk about not only charts you want to see, trade setups you want to see, but also just talk in general. T-Shroom, that was a lot. I'm going to get some water. You guys know I'm long-winded. I can speak a lot. What are your thoughts?
And the fact that we didn't look at a single Bitcoin chart in there, it's quite a shame.
We did. We briefly took glimpses at it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's alt season right now. It's
That's
time
right.
to look at alts right now.
That's right. Absolutely. Love it. We'll have to look at a Bitcoin chart before it's all said and done today. We'll definitely do that. But let's go ahead and slide right on into the factoid of the day. And today's is, with no prior experience in the energy industry, Hunter Biden sat on the board of this Ukrainian natural gas company.
Why the freak would I know this?
Was it Skoda Octavia Holdings, Burisma Holdings, Donetsk LLP, or Borscht Energy?
Borscht Energy sounds German, but it could be Russian too, and Ukrainians speak Russian. Donsk definitely sounds like it could be Slavic. I guess Borscht is Slavic too, but wouldn't that? Oh, that's a tough one. Skoda Octavia definitely sounds. So I feel like all of these, I don't know about Burisma or whatever. I feel like all these could pass.
All right, Tim, don't look at the chat. You got to give me an answer because I'm seeing some folks put some answers in there.
All right, I see two with the word holding. So I'm going to do process of elimination via SAT type of reasoning.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's either A or B. And I'm going to go with Burisma. Burisma.
He's locking it in, folks. Burisma is what he's locked in. We'll come back after the news, and we will check in on that. Folks, just a real quick reminder. You saw Tim kind of flashing around on his screen, going back and forth, actually placing a trade live on Blofin. So Blofin, we've partnered up with them. They're a great exchange. You can do all kinds of leverage trading for all kinds of different coins. You just load up your account there with USDT, and you're off to the races. Check it out.
Go to my screen real quick. It's really this simple. Once you get into your account and you fund it here, I don't know if you can move us to the left so that they can see, because this right side's kind of important. It's really simple. You come to this left side. You just type in what coin you want to trade. You then can decide you want to use leverage right here. You can use 1x. You can use 2x. You can go all the way up. Some of them, depending on what it is, lets you go up to 75x. Do not recommend it. Please don't be doing that often. But you can then confirm that, and then you just price in. You want to make sure you look. I did learn this the hard way. The first one, you want to look at the price it's giving you. So, for example, if I was going to make another AVAX trade, I'm not going to enter this, but let's say I wanted to do like $600, give or take, 584. So I'm looking this down here. I'm looking to see I'm pointing there. I'm looking at this number right here to see, hey, is that the right number? I'm going to enter my take profit. I'm going to enter my stop loss, good risk management, so you don't lose too much. And then you hit enter and you are locked in here. I'm going to go and delete these things. You can track a bunch of them at the same time. It's like other exchanges, but the simplicity, I'm going to tell you guys, I've worked with other exchanges that can seem really, really complicated. This is one of the simplest one I've ever worked with. And I'm telling you guys right now, there's some other exchanges out there that people are liking, and whatever exchange works for you, that's great. But there's still a lot of regulation that's going to be happening very, very soon with a lot of these things. Blofin is new. It's young. They're so small. They're not going to be falling under the regulation for a long time. We probably have at least a couple of years before the SEC even sniffs Blofin. They have so many other fish to fry. So no KYC, no VPN needed. You can leverage trade. It sets it up so it's super easy and simple. I set my account up in 5 minutes, and I was trading within the next 2. It is really that easy. Check out the link down below. You get 5% back. Like when you use our link, you get 5% back of the volume that you guys spend. So it's a pretty cool deal.
You sign up for Blofin, and you're going to level up your trading with massive deposits and trading bonuses with over 270 trading pairs and no KYC. Blofin is where whales are made. That's their slogan. Honestly, I like that slogan. It's a good slogan. I hope that I become a whale trading on Blofin. Tim is well on his way. And he's a really good trader. All right, we're going to start it off here with maybe some fundamentals on why the heck AVAX is pumping to the upside. If you go over to their scanner on snowtrace.io, you can see that the transaction history for the last 14 days has absolutely skyrocketed. 600,000 is the next lowest metric, and 3 million is what AVAX is currently rocking out at. You can see it's quite an increase here. I don't check now. It's not like I'm checking this all the time, so I don't know what it usually is. But this spread right here is pretty remarkable. So all of November, basically under 1 million, and then 3 million. That is a testament to people are using AVAX, right? Whether they're just trading it or they're building on it. A lot of people are trading on AVAX, especially in the last 14 days. All right. Moving on to the next story here. Just a quick update. Nothing really. This is just incremental news. You know, us marching towards the ETF approval. Fidelity Spot Bitcoin ETF listed. Crypto market guzzling with expected approval. That's an interesting choice of words. But Fidelity Spot Bitcoin ETF was listed on the DTCC. So we've heard this before in similar moves with Invesco and Galaxy, and BlackRock. Listed. It's a clearing agency, right? They're filing with intent, showing basically intent that they're going through with this ETF. But this is definitely far from an approval. And as we saw with the BlackRock, it can be taken off this list. And guess what? Neither are really all that meaningful. It turns out. Yeah. So this is just an incremental news story. It is significant, right? Because it does show continued intent. They are taking an additional step forward, right? Meaning that they haven't gotten some indication from the SEC that they are not going to be getting approved. That doesn't mean that they have been approved. Okay, moving along here, we've got some interesting news for XRP. This X account Predator has pointed out something that is very, very interesting. XRP to BTC pair completely retraced all the gains from the Ripple winnings in their case against the SEC. They put hashtag wrecked. I don't know if I'd call it that, but as of right here, so this would have been just a couple. This looks like it's a daily chart. Yep, 1 day chart. So this would have been about yesterday that this happened. But as you can see, this is not XRP to USD. It's XRP to Bitcoin. And this is where I think we'll want to park for a second and chat with you, Tim, because I want to get your take on this. You know, there's this, and we talked about this morning on the 9 a.m. show. There's this narrative, right? Especially in groups who value smaller cap altcoins, and especially some of the really smaller cap altcoins. There's this narrative growing, shaking out of the big names like Cardano, XRP, Polkadot, to take that liquidity, sell it, and go down into the much smaller names. Now, I have been a fan of that, and I have made some moves along those lines, several moves over several times. But the question here is it might be a little bit different for XRP, because certainly Cardano today has validated that it's got wings, right? It has not lost its wings. It's ready to fly. But we have not necessarily seen that with XRP. Are you worried?
Well, so here's what I'll say, and I've been on record about this for a little bit. I do think that not only right now, but in the future, the rest of this bull market, I think XRP still has room to the upside. I still think we're going to see a new all-time high for XRP, but Chainlink has stolen some thunder. So XRP had to worry about a couple things. First of all, they have a very similar competitor, XLM. I know our community talks about that one a lot. XLM, it's already got its own competitor, but then it has Chainlink now. And when I say that Chainlink's a competitor, even though they kind of do different things, the amount of institutional money that will want to go into a coin that they think serves their needs. XRP was a front runner there. It's the reason why a lot of people don't like XRP. They still call it the banker's coin. A lot of people know that we're probably going to see, what do you call them? Fiat currency. What?
CBDCs?
CBDCs. I don't know why I blanked on that.
That's
CBDCs
okay,
will probably use, like, there will be certain ones that use XRP. So there's a lot of talk in the crypto community already with some negativity there. But then we have an internal competitor to XRP as well, with the rumors that there will be a Ripple IPO. Well, guess what's one of the biggest concerns about XRP and Ripple that the haters like to bring up all the time? There's constantly this unlocking of XRP tokens that the Ripple team has. And up before an IPO, it really wouldn't help Ripple to liquidate there. They want to actually keep those tokens high. They want to keep the price high. They don't want to go dump on their users. But the minute they file for an IPO, they now will have a board and they'll have investors in Ripple itself. And they'll need to keep that stock higher. So if that stock ever starts to falter, if it ever starts to go to the downside, guess what the easiest thing to do to boost that stock would be? To liquidate some of the XRP. So while I'm still bullish on XRP moving to the upside, and when I'm looking at the chart right now, go to my screen, this is another coin rallying as we are speaking here. So I know that chart was from earlier, but we're back up above 67 cents here in XRP. Keep an eye. Let's definitely keep an eye on this trend line kind of developing right here. Even though we have a wick above that, I'm going to go ahead and keep that one to the peak we had. That was more of a scam wick. Watch what happens here around 70, 69 cents region. But in the macro, I am going to tell you guys, I will hold XRP in my portfolio because I still think there's money to be made in this bull market. But I do have some long-term concerns, both external and internal competition for XRP that could serve to stifle the price action. That's just what I'm seeing, though, at the moment. I even looked at their – I don't love what they put there, the XRP BTC chart. Let's take a look at it, guys. You know, when we look out, let's go weekly here. It gives us more data. We dropped really, really low here back in December of 2020, but we've kind of just been in a range. And ultimately, when we get back into this range, it's actually a season where XRP usually flips and gets more bullish on Bitcoin. Why am I not that concerned about that? Well, everything's dropping compared to Bitcoin more recently. This is the Ethereum over Bitcoin chart now coming back to some support. So let's continue to watch what happens there. 88 over Bitcoin up until here. This week, there really wasn't a lot of bullishness happening on the 88 over Bitcoin chart. So when I go and I take a look at the XRP over Bitcoin and people are like, oh, it's dead. Well, guys, there are some issues the XRP has, but don't use this chart as your evidence to say it's having problems. Every chart against Bitcoin pretty much looks like this, unless it's like Kaspa, which its whole existence, it's been outpacing Bitcoin, or some other newer small cap coin. The large caps, they all look like this. This is just what they're doing right now. This to me is not concerning itself. It's the rest of the things about XRP that give me some hesitancy about how much I'm going to invest in it for the rest of this bull market.
All right. I appreciate it. This will be a good time to call you all to like the video. If you are getting some value out of this, go ahead and smash the likes. And if you're new to the channel, if you're new to crypto, absolutely consider subscribing. We like to think that we do a very good job, and we get that affirmed on a regular basis. People love to leave us compliments, and we are very, very grateful for that. Now, before we go ahead and answer the factoid of the day, and then more than likely just kind of toss it into charts the rest of the session here, let's go ahead. I have one more story, and then also we'll get to the factoid. That story here, you may have already seen it, but this is important. U.S. economic data. The U.S. economy saw stronger than expected job growth of around 200,000 in November. The unemployment rate also beat expectations, dipping to 3.7%. The projected was 3.9%. And economists were forecasting 180,000, and the print was just under 200,000 for November. So beat on both of those metrics, basically saying that the labor market is still resilient. Is a word commonly used to describe the U.S. labor market. So, Tim, that's a case where it's slightly good news is bad news, but not even. I wouldn't say this is really going to swing the pendulum one way or the other for the Fed. But ultimately, this would.
Yeah, at this point, I will say the Fed is going to have almost no effect on markets until it decides to do something. So as long as we keep in this phase of pausing, don't expect it to have heavy impact whatsoever. A cut would be bullish. A interest rate hike would be bearish. That's kind of what you need to know. There was a season there for about 2 years where we just sat and waited for Fed Day, and whatever Jerome Powell was going to say was going to rock our world. And now it's like, oh, the Fed's talking. Who cares? Because you always come out and say nothing now. You've said nothing now for like the last 3 months. Let us know when you have something to actually say.
Unless the environmentalists come rushing in and then Jerome drops the F word live.
That's true. That's fun.
Drop a one in chat if you remember that.
Don't really move, but that was fun to watch. Yes.
Yeah, that was entertaining. Well, speaking of entertainment, the Biden family definitely provides enough of that these days. Let's take a look here at we're going to wrap up the factoid of the day. So, Tim, you guessed that it was Burisma, but the answer is Burisma Holdings. So you got it right there, Tim. Now,
my SAT studies did me well. That was an SAT tactic.
That's right.
Limit it down to 2, and then you got a 50-50 chance.
Yeah. Now let's round this one out here. You guys know that I like to show you the proof. Well, it's here in the pudding. There he is, Hunter Biden. He served on the board of Burisma Holdings, one of the largest private natural gas producers in the Ukraine, from 2014 until his term expired in April of 2019. Now, tell me in the chat, do you guys think that I could get a board position with the little bit of experience that I have in the energy markets? I've traded natural gas, so I probably have more experience than he did. Why are we bringing this to your attention? We try not to be political, but he's in the news today. DOJ indicts Hunter Biden on criminal charges for failure to pay taxes and filing fraudulent tax returns. Of course, this will be a big campaign piece. We probably won't talk it outside of this, but hey, we thought we'd highlight it, Tim.
We don't get political often, and this is not political because honestly, like, it is political, but it's not. T-Shroom and chat, just yes or no, does Biden even make it to debates? Like, they're not going to have any Democratic debates, it sounds like, but like, does he even become the Democrat nominee? Does he even make it to a debate with whether it be Trump or whether it be Vivek or whether it be, I mean, who else at this point? I feel like I don't feel like I feel like Vivek could be taking a lead here, at least recently.
Well, I mean, it's interesting you ask. We're not getting political here, guys. This is all for entertainment.
But does Biden make it to the debates?
Educational purposes. Right now, the betting odds for president is Trump by 6%. So I think, unfortunately, Biden. Well, not unfortunately, I don't really care. Biden has to improve. Right now, he's trailing Trump in the polls for the president's seat. Right, which is a ways off. There's still a lot that could happen. But I think he does. I think he has to perform.
Want him to be the nominee. I think that the party is trying to actively replace him.
Yeah. I think he's. Well, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but we're trying not to be political here.
We're not being okay. We're being political, but it's hard not to be political. We're trying not to be confrontationally political. You know, we're not. Yeah. Ultimately, I have problems with every politician out there. There's not a single one of them that's perfect. So there's not a side that's perfect either. But Biden has many faults. We'll just say that and we'll move on.
I don't know. George Santos is a pretty good politician. I think he served the people well.
All right. We're gonna get into back into crypto stuff. Another thing our community loves here. Let's take a look, T-Shroom, at Kaspa. I talked about this yesterday a little bit to some of our members. Talked about this morning on Discover Crypto. Actually entered a trade live on that show for this one as well. Kaspa, guys, could we be seeing a 24-cent Kaspa here very soon? Why am I saying that? Well, we have this nice ascending triangle attached to a flagpole. What do we call that? A bull pennant.
Pennant. Bull pennant?
Yeah, a flag would be if it was like parallel, and so a parallel channel. Whenever you see a triangle, whether it's a symmetrical or an ascending or descending, it's a pennant. Well, this breakout prediction from where we just bounced would put us up to the 2.35 Fibonacci level right there at 24 cents.
Very nice.
Remember, I told you guys I don't think altcoins are going to double in price. Maybe some of the smaller cap ones. Well, guess what? This is one that I think could get close. That would be an 80% rally to get to that level. But we're talking about Kaspa, one of the hottest. Like literally 3 months ago, this coin is barely within the top 100. Now it's in the top 30. Here in the next couple of weeks, if this rally happens right here, we could see it get into the top 20. And then you guys know we've predicted that potentially it's going to be flirting with, if not into that top 10 by the end of the bull market. So this is one that I'm probably have the most amount of bullish expectation. Still think though, guys, going to be honest with you, even if we pull up here, don't be surprised to see a rally to 24 cents and then still a nice 60-70% retracement back down closer to 9 cents. I still think you're going to have a good time to load up your bags for the actual bull market. But wanted to show you guys Kaspa. Our channel, our community loves Kaspa as much as they love anything else. So we want to take a look at that. We talked earlier, we didn't go into depth on it, but we got to take a look at Bitcoin. Guys, we got Bitcoin. This is the flag pattern I was talking about. Now, this is a flag t-shirt. Why? Because there's parallel lines right here. Have ourselves a nice little flag pole. You move it over to the last support touch. That would be right here down at 42,800, give or take. We have broken out. We've retested this blue line as support after it was resistance. We could see in the next couple of days a rally for Bitcoin up here to 46K. Not saying that has to be the top. I'm just saying that's my next target of the leg. We've had several legs now, macro and micro, but we've been working our way up ever since back here in October. And the rallies, the higher highs, higher lows keep on coming for Bitcoin, and they do not look like they have stopped yet. So that is our Bitcoin technical analysis. Let's go ahead and go back to the bro cam, and let's check in with chat. It is 3:41, which means we have saved ourselves a whopping 19 minutes for Q&A with you guys. Go ahead and start typing in questions, asking if there's certain coins you guys want to take a look at. I've seen some in chat we could take a look at. I'm going to check in. Don't go to my screen just yet. Let me see how my trades are doing. Yeah, everything's looking good. Everything's looking good, but I'm going to wait a while longer before I'm taking any profit on those. I think we got some bullishness coming our way for the next couple of hours. If I don't recognize the coin, I will say, Moonman just said it's a dollar symbol on the YFO. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what YFO is. Don't go to my screen. The fact that I don't think this is going to be, it's not on TradingView, so I can't even take a look at it. It also could just be a shill, so do your own research, but let's see, JTO, Gustavo. I don't know if I know what JTO is either, but let's see what that pops up. I mean, I have a chart for it, so let's take a look here on Coinbase. I'm on the hourly chart, and there is not that much history. Let's see if we can find some more history. BitGet, not a lot of history there. So this must be a brand new coin. I'm going to tell you guys right now, TA on these brand new coins, you got better luck just playing tic-tac-toe and deciding if you want to buy or sell, because that's how hard it is when you have very little data with these coins.
So, I'll say Jito's like been one of the trending coins today. I've seen it everywhere. It's kind of like what Ordi, the Ordinals coin, the other couple days ago, which Ordi's still doing really well. But JTO just up, trending.
Since today's the 8th still, right? Yeah. So since yesterday, it's up over 100%. But again, this is brand new. I mean, it just got listed here on the hourly chart. When you don't see a lot of candles on the hourly chart, that's how you know there's not a lot to do there. So we're gonna move into. I'm going to have to recognize the ticker symbol for us to take a look. Drew, Shrap, I've never seen Shrap. T-Shroom, do you know what Shrap is?
I do.
I'm sorry, Drew.
So some of the gem hunters that I like to watch, Crypto Archie being one of them, they're iffy on shrapnel. It seems like they're not a big fan of it, but there are some redeeming characteristics. I have seen Casper in the chat, not Kaspa, but Casper, so that might be one to look into. I'd actually be interested in that one. Myself.
Casper. We might take a look there. Now, Arweave, someone just asked Arweave. That's AR, right? I don't look at it a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'm just getting AR over USD.
It's just AR.
I think Romeo. So. I want to make sure. Arweave. Okay, I'm on the right one. So this is the Arweave chart. That's the right chart. So first of all, what are my thoughts about Arweave? I don't know a lot about the fundamentals, so I cannot tell you. If T-Shroom has an answer about the fundamentals, be my guest, T-Shroom. I haven't heard you talk about it, which makes me think that you don't necessarily have a strong opinion. What we're having right now, we're coming back up. We have broke above some pretty important support, former support levels. That's good because those can be easily turned into resistance here, but not necessarily loving what I'm seeing here. I do see room further to the upside on the daily chart for sure. Let's see about the 4 hour. There's room on the 4 hour. I know we're getting closer to overextended, but we're not screaming we have to reject right here. So Arweave is one. I think the price could move up. The fact that we are seeing bullish momentum and we're not even necessarily seeing resistance come into play. Did not hit the right button there. Excuse me. This chart is not old enough on the daily chart to even have bands. Yeah, there's definitely room to the upside here with Arweave. I'm not going to try to FUD it. I don't know a lot about it, so for that reason, I'm not looking to get in any position here. Also, the fact that it is not because I don't know that much about it. You could make the same argument for Cardano one way or the other. The haters of Cardano don't like Cardano because it hadn't been moving. Well, that changed today. But Arweave, with me not knowing the fundamentals, I will admit that when you're down 90% from your all-time high, even after all the rallying that has happened, I need to know the answer why. And so with Cardano, I have the answer why. Up until here yesterday, it was still down like 80-something% from its all-time high. I don't know about Arweave, right? So if you are bullish on Arweave, this is the bullish side of this. Well, let's be cup half full. If you love the fundamentals, if you love the team, if you love the community, you got a coin that's 90% down from all-time high. That is an amazing opportunity to invest in it, right? If you saw Amazon or Apple or Microsoft down 90%, if you saw Bitcoin down 90%, if you see Cardano, that is a juicy buy, right?
Yeah.
So is this a good project? I don't know the answer to that. But if it is, great buy.
Yeah,
if it's not, that's why it's down.
I'm getting close to an answer on it, Tim. So generally, so I've looked into it a couple times, not very deeply, but what I'm seeing here is that the tokenomics are very solid. So it has a circulating supply of 99%, and then its fully diluted market cap is only 10 million higher than its current market cap. Am I seeing that right? Yeah, about 10 million higher than its market cap. So that means that this is like almost completely mined, so to speak. It's all the supply is out there in the market. There's not gonna be an opportunity for the team to come out and dump a bunch more and make the price go lower, as is in the case of many other cryptos. The thing that I think would limit the upside for this project is what it actually does. Its use case is this decentralized storage. Now there are loads of channels and funds that are invested in nothing but this category, nothing but this narrative, right? So it is a bullish narrative. I haven't seen, it's not a fake narrative or a narrative that has completely fallen out of favor, like the ISO 20022 narrative that seems to have kind of gone by the wayside. Not completely. But Arweave, I'd say, Tim, if you think there's a good technical setup, I think that the fundamentals are there, that in the same way that people will stick with some stupid projects, I'm not going to name them, but some very, very dumb projects that I think are dumb, I think this project doesn't seem dumb, right? At least on the face, it seems solid, and the fact that there's a good tech setup, this might be a good one to try to trade.
I would say I'll talk to some more people because I don't just talk about Arweave all the time. I'll talk to people I know and see what their thoughts are. Because if this is a solid team, a solid foundation, that could be an amazing.
The team's doxed as well, which is good.
It could be a great. But when you're still down 90% after all of this, if that coin's gonna make it, it could be a good rally.
Yeah.
Good investment for long term hold.
So that's exactly what I was thinking. Was like, this may not, like, you may be invested in this because you've done the 3 hours of research you probably need to do to feel confident about it, right? But I would say that the trade setup, based on what you were saying, Tim, the trade setup's there. The investment maybe not there.
Yeah, I think there's definitely room for the short term to the upside. But I'm even talking about, that's one I'm like, I see limited downside. Like, okay, I have to go back to it. I'm going to take a look at BNB. I saw a chat earlier about BNB, and I saw earlier today someone asked about BNB. But let's go back. Let's go back here to Arweave, and this is it. So it's down 90%, right? But it's only up from the low. Let's see here. It's only up 125%, right? So a lot of other altcoins are up now well above 100, pushing closer to 200, some of them pushing closer to 300. So there's not a lot of downside. Like, I don't think that there's a chance it goes and sets a brand new low. That altcoins could definitely do that. But like, I think that its chances of going back down and double bottoming here are pretty slim. You're probably looking back down towards maybe a former resistance level here around 6. So I see a better upside, very low risk, high reward for an investment and a long-term trade on this coin. That's kind of my thought there. We'll go ahead and kind of end that one. Let's take a look at BNB. I saw in chat earlier today someone was saying, hey, Tim, take a look at a BNB potential trade. I will say BNB is a coin I've never once held. I've followed it. I've paid attention to the chart, but I've never once held it, never once traded it, never once done anything with it. It's had its moments with this very bullish, but recently with the news, with CZ stepping down, it is one that I'm a little skeptical, I guess is the best way to put it. Not that it can't rally to the upside, but I don't know. I don't know what the future of Binance looks like. A bunch of other exchanges are scooping in like vultures on a dead carcass. Not that BNB's dead, not that Binance is dying, but I would not be surprised if Binance is not the largest exchange here in this next bull market. Coinbase, I think, easily could surpass it, especially with all the institutional money flowing into it. But
now, Tim,
let's talk. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go. Oh, so wrap up. I'm going to introduce a new fixture for the Investing Bros we haven't introduced yet.
Okay.
But I've been loving it so much. But finish up, and we'll get to it in just a second.
Yeah. So this is a technically bearish pattern. Even though there's some wicks below it, we have some strong support here at 203, flat bottom, but we've not been setting new higher highs here. So we're setting lower highs, flat bottom. That is a descending triangle. Traditionally, it's bearish, but when you're talking about bottoms of bear markets, it's not necessarily. Let's look at Cardano, for example. Cardano, I got to get rid of the Fibonacci just so you can see it more clearly, had the same thing going on with it. It's a nice descending triangle, and yet, look, it bounced and made it to the upside. So same thing I'm looking at here. Binance has a chance to make a nice little run here. When I'm looking at oscillators, even though we're overextended here, let's go to shorter time frames. Yeah, they're all looking overextended. But I could see, what trade setup someone's talking about is a move up here to 255 back to resistance. What I would almost say is if you get a breakout above this white line on BNB, look out. Oh, look at that daily chart. Definitely has room to go. We got a MVP oscillator flashing green right there, so that's a good thing too. We could easily break through. If we break above this white line, I know the guy I was talking to this morning was saying, hey, Tim, trade set up right now up to 255. To me, I'm almost more interested in the long term. Hey, can we break that white line? Can we get out above it? And then that breaks this descending trend. Even though we might still be setting lower highs, at least we broke the trend of that resistance. That could release some pressure. BNB is also one of those coins. It's going to have a lot to do with money flowing in and out of the exchange. So as the market continues to go bullish, I think we might need to wait for the official bull market. But when the bull market happens, I think BNB could rally the upside. My only thing, though, T-Shroom, and I'll close with this, a lot of coins will make gains. So if I was going to invest in BNB, that would be a diversification issue, not a, hey, I'm a big believer in BNB. To me, I think it'll go up, but there's just so many other coins that will do so many more exciting things than BNB. I still might not end up buying it. Maybe a trade here and there, but I probably will not buy it.
Absolutely. All right, Tim. Well, I have been watching a channel called Crypto Galaxy, which was called out by. Have you ever heard of it? Have you seen this? Have you heard of this? Have you seen?
Maybe. I mean, I've definitely seen some things that I don't remember the name, but
it's very.
Let's see what it is.
It's very entertaining. Well, I'm not going to show it. I'm just.
Well, then
I totally stole this from them.
Okay. So we're thievery.
I say that in just because I wanted to disclose. I'm not trying to pretend like I didn't completely get this idea from them.
Gotcha.
But Archie does the same thing, and I believe Seth does the same thing too. This is the Investing Bros spreadsheet for projects. Now, this also happens to be the same spreadsheet that Tim organized his top 10 videos, top 10 projects for the bull run.
It's been updated. There's some changes to that, but yeah, let's keep going.
We got abs. Maybe that's what you'll do tomorrow. We could talk about the Saturday show here in a second. But
yeah, we'll see. There's a chance that we don't end up doing a Saturday show with you being out of town and some things. My wife has been sick the back half of this whole week, so I might be on full-blown Brody duty.
Gotcha. Well, we got
Maybe
Piper
I'll make
in
a
the
video
chat.
Though with Brody.
I'm going to be seeing
up,
Piper. Hopefully,
Shout
you'll
out
get
to
to
the
see
bros.
some pictures of Piper and I doing up to our antics because we'll be hanging out in Daytona, Florida. Sunny Daytona. We'll be hanging out. But guys, already, and Tim and I will have to agree on these, but already we've got a couple of names in here. The black box is just going to be the grades for these different cryptos. I'm gonna put Seedify as Seedify, S Fund as a minus, just because we're starting the list off, right? But all of this stuff is going to be scheduled to it's going to be changing more over time. The only one I have in the red zone is going to be ICP, and I stand by that because they have an infinite max supply. That's a problem.
I don't like ICP. You can definitely. I would even almost put ICP in the avoid. I think there's some people that are bullish on it. I'm going to avoid it. So,
oh wow,
that's where I kind of stand.
So we agree on that. What you'll notice is there's not a lot of action over here because Tim and I were hesitant to just call things super bad, but we're going to be trying to do that a little more as we get into the bull market, trying to help you guys get maximum gains and not getting involved in a bunch of sucker projects. Then these ones are just dusty, right? XLM and XRP. They still have a decent amount of potential, but they're just dusty. Maybe XRP should be.
I think this is where I kind of stand with it. I feel like I would say XRP is good for this bull market, but after this bull market, now I want to move it to dusty.
Okay. What about XLM?
Good. I mean, I don't have any reason to not. What's your reason to put it in just dusty?
Well, the reason is because I don't think it has multiple 10x potential. I think XRP is probably going to do around a 10x.
Okay.
So, but again, look, this is our first time embarking on the spreadsheet model here. I think what we can both agree on, ICP and avoid, and really good Kaspa. We got to come up with a better category than really good, but
I mean, ultimately, there's a lot of things we can put in really good.
Yeah.
We also is this judged based off of how? Okay, is it judged based off of how many X's it could have in the bull market?
Quality of project, which would
so would we put like Bitcoin and Cardano and Ethereum and Solana and all those in the really good? Like, is that the thought, or are we just going to avoid the really well-known ones? Or
I think we need to talk about it more. Sounds like we have something to discuss.
You guys, listen. The audience is hearing about this list at the same time that I love this idea. I'm kind of figuring out with them as well. But this is good.
Actually, I would go ahead and put Solana in here. I think ADA has been great today, but it has not impressed the market as much as Solana.
Listen, Piper's in chat saying move AR to really good. Piper, you got to hit us up. What do you know about Arweave? I don't study it a lot, but I would definitely respect what Piper thinks. So
how about this?
We'll leave it as good right now, but we need like a fringe box, like a almost really good, but potential. No, I'm just kidding.
That's why the good has gradation of different letter grades. This is going to get way out of hand, but we're starting on it. We might scrap it, but I like it, and it sounds like Tim likes it too.
Yeah, I love this. I love the idea.
So Saturday show, you're still on the fence. Sounds like Tay's not doing well. That's unfortunate, but
she has been sick all week. Okay. So I think there's a good chance that I'm going to let her rest and just have a good Brody Daddy Day tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the Discord where the chat never ends. How should we organize this spreadsheet approach? Should we do it just like how Crypto Galaxy does it, or should we try to do it in our own way? Let us know what you want to see as we rank the crypto projects as we head into the bull market. But definitely at this point, you got to like the video. You got to like it. No matter what, if you think it's good or not, you got to hit the likes.
If you didn't like it before, I saw a couple people now, we're going to kind of close it out here. They asked for Near. All I'm going to say about Near. Yeah, so I have not done TA on it since the price was back here. We called for a potential bull flag opportunity to what price? Bada boom. Right up here, we just hit. We called for a $2.39 range. So we hit. So I love the chart here. This is another one, guys. Again, do I know a lot about the fundamentals of Near? No. I feel like I hear and talk about Near a little more than Arweave, but another coin that potentially is at a great spot to invest in. Why? Well, we're only up from that bear market bottom, similar to Arweave. We're only up about 140. That's a good amount, 140. So there is room to correct. I do think it can correct in a pre-halving dip. But from the all-time high, it is down 88%. So that's a coin that, again, it just hasn't gotten its explosive push yet. And if it doesn't happen pre-halving, but it's still a good project, it could happen post-halving. So Near is another one. Put that in the good category. Again, I've heard enough about Near to know that I think that the team is strong. I think that the project is strong. And when I'm looking at the chart, lot of room to the upside. Lot of room to the upside for sure.
I like it. Cool. We're going to develop the spreadsheet a lot more. Thanks for pulling up the Near Protocol charts there. Now you got Solana up. Are you making another trade, Tim?
Nope, just showing everybody. Like Solana, it's down. Like that's still significant, but it's down 70%. Like so, that's not as significant. Like 80, that one was 88. The other one was 90. That's significant. Let's see what was Cardano. Like Cardano, especially after this more recent rally. Before today, this is one of the reasons why I was still so bullish on Cardano. It's because before today we were down here. We were down 87, almost 90%. Now it is down 82%. So that's why you're starting to see, all right, it's getting this nice rally. Link, let's see what Link is doing. Of course, these are the big ones that have come more, had more rallies recently. It is only down 68%. So that's what I'm talking about. These, Solana, Link, Cardano's rally today, Ethereum had its rally. These are all. They're not even quite back to 50%. That's the thing that usually only Bitcoin does. Just so you guys also know, in these pre-bull market rallies, Bitcoin gets back up above 50%. Like it gets back up above a 2x away from its former all-time high. Altcoins do not. So I'm not surprised that even as bullish as Solana is, it's not even back to 50% because that's not what happens. But still being 90% down from all-time high, that is a coin that's overextended. I would almost say you really don't get out of the category of being overextended until you get closer to 70% down like Solana. So Cardano, I still think is down 82%. Still, as much as today has been a nice pump, still down too far. I think we are going to see a rally above 60 cents. At this point now, I'm looking somewhere between 70 to 80 cents is my target for how high Cardano can get before a retracement.
I like it. Very good, Tim. Well, are we ready to get to the answer of the factoid? Just kidding. We already got it.
We just did that. Yeah. It is 4:01, guys. It is Friday. We're wrapping up the week. What a way to end it with an explosion. Normally, Fridays are not the best days. Normally, people talk about DCAing on Fridays because everything dips. Not the case this week. We are starting off the weekend with a boom. Last weekend was exciting. This weekend could be better. Make sure you guys stay tuned. I'll leave the possibility open of doing a live show tomorrow, but don't plan on it. More than likely, we're taking the Saturday show off. With that said, though, you guys have a fantastic weekend. Go touch some grass, hug a loved one, and we will see you guys Monday, if not before.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.